It's pretty clear that in this chapter, Oda intentionally pushed the Rocks pirates out of the spotlight, giving all the shine to Roger's crew instead. And that's not by accident. It feels like a calculated move. The story clearly isn't ready to reveal all its cards at once. By focusing on Shakky's rescue, Oda leaves Rocks in the shadows, building him up as the absent presence, the figure whose silence now almost guarantees he'll get his own stage later. This is classic Oda storytelling. He loves to introduce legendary characters in phases, where sometimes their absence speaks louder than an actual appearance, which is why the next chapter feels primed to finally put Rocks front and center, especially since a key player like Garling Figarland hasn't shown up yet. And when he does, it looks like he'll be the core of a major conflict with Rocks, a clash that could carry heavy symbolic meaning on top of the obvious battle aspect. But the real bombshell in this chapter wasn't about Rocks directly. It was the subtle mention of his wife, Iris. On the surface, it feels like a throwaway detail, but in the bigger picture, it could be massive for the mythos of One Piece. The name Iris comes straight out of Greek mythology. She's the goddess of the rainbow and the messenger of the gods, a bridge between divine powers and humans. And that symbolism connects in a crazy way to what we saw with Gunko under Imu's control in Elbath, where those wings looked almost identical to the mythological wings of Iris. It's like Oda is deliberately weaving ancient myth into the very fabric of his world. What makes it even wilder is that we've seen this exact name before. Remember that magic circle used to turn giants into demons? Inscribed on it was the name Iris D. Tar. No way that's just a coincidence. Oda is recycling the name on purpose, once as Rock's wife, and once tied to that dark ritual we've linked in past theories to Imu's origin and the mysterious D family. This repetition opens up some crazy possibilities. Maybe Imu at some point possessed Iris's body, which would explain why her name shows up in the ritual. Or maybe Teach's bloodline has always had direct ties to forbidden sorcery, with the name Iris becoming a cursed symbol of that connection. What really stands out here is that Oda never throws in random details just for the sake of it. Every little hint is usually a thread in a much larger web he's carefully weaving. So the fact that this name keeps popping up suggests there's a deep narrative string tying together Rocks, his wife Iris, Imu, and even the D clan. And that string might actually be the missing key to understanding so much of the mystery behind the world's history, whether it's the origin of these supernatural powers or the link between giants and demons. That's why this chapter feels like pure setup, planting tiny seeds that could explode into a full-blown story arc later. Sure, the coming showdown between Rocks and Garling will probably highlight the raw combat side of things, but the mention of Iris hints at something much bigger, the mythological dimension that connects Rocks' past to the cosmic conflict of the future. In other words, Oda is once again playing his favorite game, delaying the big reveals so that absence itself becomes more impactful than any direct confrontation.